to construct segments, what you need to first of all do is place a point, an endpoint, at the beginning of your segment, anywhere on your line. Then you're going to obviously need to pick up your compass because you cannot construct without your compass. So what you have to do is if you want to add AB, you literally have to measure AB with your compass. Be nice if we had it a different color. There we go. So what we're going to do is make an arc mark to measure, and then we have to come down here to measure AB. Then we have to come up and measure CD. Now see, I see that's a little bit off, so probably what I would do is erase that, which won't let me do it. I'll just take it off over here and delete it. If you're not exactly right, then you could make a mistake. So scoot it over in the middle and then come down. That's a little bit too big. That looks a little bit better. You're going to come down here and add on segment CD. Third thing is to measure RS. I can see that's a little bit off, but for the sake of consistency, I'm just going to stop. And thus, you now have your endpoint here. Just not letting me draw. And then what is the name of the segment? Doesn't really tell you what the name of it is, but from here, we'll just call it PQ, maybe. So that is it. Now if we want to go down and do the angle congruent to an angle, first thing you have to do is draw a ray. Actually, I think I like this one better because I'd like to have an endpoint. I'm going to get rid of this one. Okay. Then you are going to come up and take your compass and make an arc to represent the measure of this angle. And then you're going to come over and do the same exact arc on your angle you're going to construct. As you can see, that arc made 2 points right here. 1, 2. So I'm going to take my compass, come over here, and measure. That's way too big, so I've got to squeeze it in and measure where those 2 points intersect. Then I'm going to come over here and do the same. I have to go at the bottom point here, come around, and make an arc mark. That creates a point of intersection right here that I'm then going to take and draw a ray intersecting, and there's the angle congruent to the given angle. The third construction is a bisector of an angle. Oops. So you're going to take your compass over here and you're going to measure the angle first, creating 2 points of intersection with the rays. And my compass is over halfway, so then I'm going to make the arcs in the middle that's equal distance from the 2 points I created earlier. That is now the connection that I made to create a point of intersection that I am then going to take and draw a ray from B through that point. And there's my angle bisector. If we do it again, it's very simple. You come here, you draw an arc. Where the arc meets the two rays, you come over, and it needs to be over halfway or it won't meet in the middle, so I have to extend mine out, make my arc, come over here, and cross the arc, creating a point of intersection that I can then draw a ray going through. There's that. My next construction is a segment bisector. Pretty much you just need to stretch your compass over halfway. It doesn't matter which side you start on. I'm going to go a little bit further over here, making it a red, and then I'm going to make an arc. And remember, the further you stretch it, the fatter your arcs are going to be. And then I'm going to come here and intersect that arc. The intersection of those two arcs creates 2 points, which then I'm going to take a line and connect. And I have done the segment bisector. Again, if I want to do this quickly, I take the end point, I create an arc from point S, and then I come through point T, create another arc. See, mine's skinnier there because I didn't go as far over. And then I'm going to pick up a line, and I'm going to come down here and intersect. It's a little bit off, so I'll scoot it over some. There we go. Segment bisector. Next construction is perpendicular through a point on a line. Remember, you have to do the compass. You stretch it out. It does not matter how big. And make a circle, but I only need the part of the circle. I'll just go all the way down here. I'm looking for where it crosses. I can either go above P or below P. It doesn't matter. I'm going to stretch it over halfway and make an arc in the ends, coming from the point I created from the original arc I made, and then I will come to the other side and make the crossing arc. That gives you a point right there of intersection that you will then take the line and draw through those 2 points. There we go. To do a construction through a point that's not on a line and perpendicular to a line, you have to come down. Now that's not far enough. It's got to cross over the actual line. I call it a smiley face. That creates equidistant points. So then we're going to come down, make sure it's over halfway, which in this case it looks like it needs to be stretched out a little bit more. You're going to make that arc from one point you created and then come over to the other point you created and cross the arc. I went really far for that one, but the purpose of it is to get this point right here, which then I'm going to go up to the original point C and draw a line connecting C and my new point. If it's a little bit off, it could be because you squeezed your compass too far, but this is what it should look like. The next one, perpendicular to RM from A, well, that's the same exact construction we just did. It just happens to have a triangle drawn on it. So you're going to come here, stretch it over. You want to try to hit the line below it. There we go, perfect. And then we're going to come down again, equidistant, make an arc here, come to the other arc point that was made with the arc, and cross over this arc. That again creates a point, which you will then take the line, draw through A, and the point you just created. And it says AP, so I will label that as point P. AP, perpendicular to RM. The next one says to bisect angle RAM. Well, angle RAM means A is the vertex, so I'm going to come to the vertex. First thing you do is make an arc for the angle, if you recall. Then you come down here, stretch it over halfway. I'm going to go a little further out so it goes below this. And then cursor over to the other point of intersection and cross the arc. I then pick up my line and connect. And there's my angle bisector, RAM. To construct a line parallel to another line, you remember, you draw a transversal. Going through M. We're then going to construct congruent angles by using your compass. If you recall, you put the point on the vertex of the first angle. Doesn't matter how big it is, I'm going to make it a little smaller. And then you come up to point M and create the same arc. The arc creates 2 points, so I'm going to come down here and measure the distance between those 2 points, making an arc. I come up to the corresponding point right here and make a corresponding arc. That corresponding arc creates a point of intersection right here, which I am then going to pick up a line and draw going through M and that point. Now mine looks a little off. That's pretty gross looking actually. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Okay. And of course it would be nice to have arrows on each line, end of each line, so that you understand that it's a line. Okay. The last one, AX parallel to RM, is the exact same thing, but this one, your transversal has already been drawn, but you might need to extend it. So if you want to take and draw a transversal through the already side of the triangle, then you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to come down here, measure your arc, measure your angle by making an arc, and come up and do the same thing at point A. Then we're going to measure the distance that angle is from arc connection to arc connection right here. And then I'm going to go up here and do the same thing. Now I can already see that I'm a little bit off, so I'm going to undo that. Because see where my compass is right there? It looks like it wasn't even on the point, so I need to scoot it over. Because if you're off by just a tad, you're going to make the whole problem wrong. Okay, so that's one. Come up here and do the same, which created a point that I'm going to then take a line and connect. And what did I say the name of that line was? Line would have arrows. And I said the name of that point was going to be AX. Well, I hope this helps. See you in class.